Hey y'all, Donnie Keith here, aka Auntie Peaches from the Aunties Radio Show, also on The Voice of Reason. I'm here to say that ever since my man started taking A game, he's been on top of his A game. When I say A game, I mean his A game. He's more focused. He's definitely working out more. His attitude is better. And he's not complaining of all over body aches due to poor blood circulation, because A-Game provides great blood circulation, if you know what I mean, ladies. That blood circulation. Sometimes I have to hide the A-Game in the bushes when I'm out walking the dog just because I want some sleep, if you know what I mean, ladies. Stay on top of your A-Game, fellas. Get your A-Game.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, I'm back again with the clip from Tommy Sotomayor when he recently appeared on Fresh and Fit's podcast. I'm going to actually finish out the recordings. It was a 3-minute recording, so we probably got about 2.5 minutes of it left to show, and then I want to come back with my perspective on what was said, because what we're talking about is Black women getting with the same men that they always complain about. These F-19s, men aren't nothing, but they constantly are with these men. And we're sort of pulling back the layers on why they continue to choose these types of men, where those choices come from. So let me go ahead. Let me share my screen. So I think this is where I want to pick up.
Yes, they can't. He can't. The men can't. The women can decide to give a baby up at a gas station, at a firehouse, so they can do all these things. So really getting conned and lied to getting conned and so damn smart. How come they the only motherfuckers that's constantly getting conned and lied to get in the situation? Like, y'all claim y'all are smart as men, but y'all the only people who say, "Oh, he told me to do this and he talked me into this." When a man gets screwed over, they say it's your fault. You should have seen it coming. Should have seen it coming. So why is it we can't say to these women? Because let me tell you a stat that should shock you, all of you. Did you know there are 2 times as many Black women with children than Black men? What does that tell you? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to interpret that for you. Here we go. Okay. Now, it tells you that women are fucking the same man. Oh, damn. So y'all know he ain't shit, and you fuck him because you in competition with that other ain't shit bitch to have that ain't shit nigga baby. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who you know got 9-11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these bitches, and bitches jump right on the video to be there with it. So don't tell me how great women are. Don't tell me how women care about marriage. Don't tell me how women care about society, because if they did, the last thing you do is continue to reproduce with somebody you know has shown he is not a father, but you do it because you want to. Now, I'm Panamanian, so it's a little bit different because we speak a little bit honest. We talk honest about it. I know y'all Americans have been led by so many women that y'all sit there and believe that a lie is the truth. Yeah. And it feels real good to live in ignorance is bliss. And what I don't know can't hurt me. But if I don't know a woman got AIDS, I can catch it. It can't hurt me. If I don't know the brakes don't work in this car before I crank it up and drive it, I can die. So stop living like that. And let me tell you something, young lady. When you wonder why you have a man that is not there, it's simply because you didn't allow that man to be your husband before you allow that man to knock you up. Is that not a good enough answer, man?
Okay. So I wanted to show that clip basically because he was speaking facts in the clip. And you saw how quiet those young ladies were. They were actually uncomfortable because he was right there. It wasn't online. They weren't in comment sections where they could say what they wanted to say and still have the anonymity to be delusional. It was right there in their faces where he's just saying, look, and he's saying it in a way where they can't say he's bashing them or blaming them, but it's just like, this is what it is. But the part that he was talking about that I want to talk about was complaining about the men not being a certain way, but then getting with these men. These men are not good fathers. These men are players. These men are not responsible. These men don't commit. These men are out here just playing games, just running through women, just creating 304s, and all of those sorts of things. But the first thing that I want to talk about, as it pertains to that, is the men creating 304s. They can't create nothing that you don't want to be. First of all, there are already 304s, whether the men aren't necessarily creating them. But if you are a woman that does not consider herself a 304, and you are out here and these men are making these certain requirements, you got to have sex with me before I give you a relationship, or you got to have sex with me before we go out on a date, or you got to have sex with me, or you got to do this thing or do that thing before I do this thing or that thing. If you don't want to be caught in the transaction, then don't be caught in the transaction. They can't dangle a carrot in front of your face that you don't let dangle. If a guy come up and tell you, and you are trying to be of the 10 life value system, you are not out here raking up bodies and just sleeping with anybody. You are looking for marriage. You are looking for committed relationship and things of that nature. Then you can't get caught up in the transaction. Just because a man comes over and says, okay, if you have sex with me 5 times, I might think about us being in a relationship. Only if you're desperate to be in a relationship will you allow yourself to have sex with this guy you don't know 5 times, only to be ghosted after the 5th time, and you never get into a relationship. The reason why I'm saying all of this is because y'all are the one, y'all be talking about the men be thirsty, but y'all be out here thirsty for relationships. That's why there's even a such thing as a so-called 3-date rule, because y'all are so thirsty, A, for relationships, B, to try to get over on some dude even when you're not looking for relationships, that you get caught in stuff like the so-called 3-date rule. If you're really looking for a man to give you a relationship, first of all, you got to be looking for the relationship. Number 2, you got to be worthy of the relationship. And then if you're worthy of relationship, you know what you're looking for. And number 3, you know that a man who's also looking for a committed relationship or a marriage with a woman does not have things that he's doing called the 3-date rule. He's not making it a requirement for you to have sex with him before he thinks about a relationship, because a man that's already in that mindset, it wants to give the relationship first. What he's doing is he's going to enter into a vetting process with you. And that don't necessarily include you jumping in the bed with him, because he already know that's on deck when he asks for it anyway. He know you going to get at to him. He not even sweating that. He not sweating that. He can get that anywhere. That's everywhere. What he can't get anywhere is a wife. So he's not worried about, you know what I'm saying, your Hello Kitty and how fast you can give it to him, because he's not in it for the transaction in the first place. A little lesson for y'all that call yourself, if you're really looking for a husband, then you're not getting caught up in the transaction, because you're not somewhere transacting and being thirsty and being desperate. You complain about the men not being serious, but sis, you done spent the last or all of your dating life in a whole phase. You have not been serious. So why would a man who is marriage minded approach you for marriage when he see you in a hoe phase. You're not even looking for that. And then y'all constantly talking about how you don't need no man and how you ain't looking to be no man's wife, no man's girlfriend. You ain't trying to be up under no man. Can't nobody tell you what to do. You like your independence. You like being single because you like being free. Then okay. So why would a man who's looking for the opposite of that come to you? Why would he then come to you? You don't want that. He heard you say that. He's watching your behavior and understanding that this is not what you're about. And like Tommy told the other girl, you're running around here getting these bodies and then crying about how the men are making 304s. But the problem is you don't have sense enough to do what they're doing, which is to make a requirement of you before they give you something of theirs. See, the 3-day rule, while it is in the lost value system and it is the transaction, at least these dudes call themselves trying to get something before they give something. They are trying to make a requirement of you before they give part with anything that they consider of value. You're parting with everything. And then you want to call women like me a pick me, a mammy, and mule, and all this other kind of stuff. But we're not, ladies like me aren't the one out here giving me in sex, giving me in children, giving me in all kinds of stuff without any requirement of them. No commitment, no nothing. You just out here hoping on a wing and a prayer that a man can take you seriously enough to deal with you on some type of a long-term basis. And instead of making yourself the valuable woman that a man would look for to be a wife, you want to trick your way into relationships. You want to have these trap babies and all of this type of stuff. I'm going to trap them with a kid. How many times y'all going to do that and realize that it failed and that it doesn't work? A man that don't want to be in a relationship isn't going to be in a relationship with you. It doesn't matter what you do. So what y'all need to do is quit being salty that y'all done gave y'all cookies away to all these dudes talking about he didn't deserve it. So why didn't you give it? You should have understood he didn't deserve, quote unquote, he didn't deserve it before you gave it to him. But y'all don't go into no type of vetting process. You're so hopped up and on a whole phase, on a whole kick and ready to try to entrap a man with sex because you lack the internal value to make him pay attention to you outside of the bed and actually like what he see and like what he's dealing with. Then you're trying to get them through by hook or by crook. Then you get yourself caught up because you feel like, oh, if I have a baby, then he's going to automatically, you know what I'm saying, man up and settle down and want to be in a relationship with me. That is not the case because you're dealing with men who are showing you that he don't have what it takes. He's not of the mindset. He doesn't have, at that time that you're dealing with him, he doesn't have the qualification nor the desire to be a father or a husband or any of these types of things. Yet you will go ahead and have this man's baby sometimes 2 or 3 times. He displayed to you that he's not suitable for these roles that you're trying to get him to get into. Then when you try to force the issue by, let's say, having a child by this man that done showed you he's not even all that interested in you. So he's certainly not going to be interested in any child that you bring forth. And maybe he even has children that he's not necessarily dealing with, or he doesn't deal well with the baby's mothers. So you think you're going to have the magic Hello Kitty with the magic baby and be the magical baby mama that make him, quote unquote, act right and make him settle with you, and he doesn't do it. Then you get mad that he doesn't, quote unquote, man up and step up to be suitable. But sis, he wasn't suitable to begin with, so how you mad that he's still being him? How you mad that he the same dude that you met? He the same dude that come over, y'all ain't never been on a date before. He just come through, slide through, and have sex with you. Now you pregnant and have a baby. Now you want him to open up and be this man and be this husband, a husband type of guy and a father type of guy, and it doesn't work. But here's the real basis of my perspective on this. The reason why y'all keep picking these men and then y'all get mad at the outcomes is that y'all are angry that men have actually woken up and that there is a such thing as red pill, because y'all want to be the only ones to know that it's a transaction. See, you like the transaction, but you don't want him to know. You don't want men in general to recognize and understand that it is a transaction. You want them to take you seriously and approach you as if you're not on whole phases, as if you're wife material, as if you're just waiting to be grabbed up and nabbed up and wifed up by a good man. You want men to still live in that fairy tale so that you can be the only one aware that there's a transaction, and therefore you get what you want out of him, and then he's left feeling some type of way because he actually got feelings for you and thought that this was going to be something. So now that men have jumped in the mud with you, oh, you want to be on that type of time? Fine, we'll be on demon time together. I'm going to jump in the mud with you and act stupid with you. Now all of a sudden you can shame his masculinity and his integrity as a man. Well, he's not stepping up being a man. He's not showing masculinity. Where did the manhood go? Feminism killed it. You killed it. The gynocracy killed it. It's in the back rotting. Okay? That's what happened to it. Anyway, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.